Day three. Day three. Championship day. The One Fam Nation 5v5 Invitational. This day been coming a long time, longer than just the last 2 weeks. I mean, the One Fam Nation tournament started as just an idea, thanks to the inspiration of many others like Timothy Edwards, Bolt 30, Tariq over at Active Plus, Roman at Dudo Baez, Sillingham at Leewood. I just been watching other people do this for such a long time. Pratt and them over at Yaga. Like, I've been watching people do this for such a long time. They're the ones that put the idea, in my head that this was a possibility. So I just want to thank everybody for all the inspiration over the years. And, I'm just happy that this thing finally came true. I'm all smiles when I'm looking at all the talent in the gym, all the different pros and college players. And I'm just very grateful for everybody that was a part of it, because without all this talent, we wouldn't have been able to make the tournament a thing. Thankful for the camera people, for the scorekeeping staff, for everybody that put some hard work to making this thing become a reality. And we just getting started. This is the first one we ever had. But hopefully we could turn this thing into a league. And we're going to be looking back at these videos in like 15, 20 years, just laughing at where we came from and how far we got. Just wanted to take this time to express my gratitude to everybody that was a part of building this thing up, and everybody that was a part of making this thing, turn this dream into a reality. We're going to get right into it. First game is going to be Purple versus White. This is the tournament now. It's one and done, single game elimination. And Purple's a really talented team. We've been talking about them this whole time. It's just been a matter of who's going to show up, what players they're going to have, because they had a pretty deep roster. And it seems like here on the end of the tournament, they got Zay and Drew. Sam is there, Bugs is there. When they pass the ball, they got so much shooting all over the court with Drew LaQuista and Zay, like, both out there. And then, they have a strong inside presence with Sam. Nice post work right there. He's too small down there. So that's one thing to look out for, how well-rounded they are with Bugs and Sam, all that size and skill. And then the shooting with Drew LaQuista and Zay, and just raw talent. They also got Ty. I see Ari in the background, Adonis. This White team, unfortunately, they competed hard on the first 2 days, but on this day they were missing Javon, their captain, and their only big man. Somebody got a technical foul. And I like these young kids. This was bizarre, actually. This technical foul, they gave them 4 shots. I didn't know if it was 2 techs or what was going on, but I think it was a shooting foul, and they gave them 2 free throws for the shooting foul, and then 2 free throws for the tech, and they still got the ball back. I like to see Mustafa compete and the rest of the White team. Savo came back. He missed the second day. He had a really good first day. They picked up Jaden McDowell for this day, and they also had Shaq. So they had some pieces, but I just feel like without Javon, the big man in the middle, and without Kyle, they were just trying to figure it out there. A bunch of these guys never really played together. Shaq with a nice backdoor pass right there. So it was just tough for them, especially going against a team like the Purple, who had championship aspirations this whole time. I love to see Judicus ball. Shaq. Oh, Sam with a nice little chase down block right there. Zay pushing it full court. Shaq, I want to see him on a good team next time with some help, because he's a really good player. Oh, Judicus with the hustle right there, the steal of the inbound. Oh, Mustafa got him right back. Stole his inbound pass. Bugs with some good hustle defense to get back, disrupt the play. Yeah, I just want to see Shaq play on a team where he's able to compete. So hopefully, that's in the works for the next tournament. But even though they fought hard this game, it was just going to be really tough for White without having their real players, and and just having to figure it out. It looks like they got 5 guards out there. I think they ended up playing with 7 players, and all 7 of them were guards. Maybe a forward or a guard that had to play forward. See, they picked up Anwar. And at first it looked like it might have been a little close, but once the purple team started to hit the outside shot, they kind of were able to run away with this thing. And it seemed like it was just a warm-up game for purple because they had bigger fish to fry. You know, I know they had their eyes on the yellow team, the eyes on the black team. So I felt like it was good to see them moving the ball. I like this play right here. They pass, end up with an open shot in the corner or net. Just seeing them play together just lets you know their potential. I think whenever Bugs joins one of these tournaments, he always comes into the tournament with the idea to win. Ooh, Ari wilding out there, shooting threes, pointing to the passer. I always like to see Ari get bucks out here. You know, she's usually like one of the smallest people on the court, one of the lightest people on the court. She's usually the only female on the court. That was a nice move by Shaq right there. Little snake dribble, left hand finish. Oh man, Juliquis. So yeah, I'm always looking to see Ari score out there. It always feels good. I feel like it's good for the community when she gets bucks. And it kind of looked like this was a warm-up game for the purple team. The white team, I think people were pulling for them as the underdog, but after about 10 minutes of this game, it was kind of clear that they weren't going to be advancing. That Zay and Sam pick and roll is deadly. I mean, you got to guard. Oh, that was a nice finger roll by Anwar. You got to guard Zay from like 30-something feet. Otherwise, he'll shoot the 3 from out there. And then Sam has such good touch. And another one. Ari wilding out there. Sam has such good touch around the rim and such a good shooting touch and good hands and footwork. Yeah, he's like the ideal pick and roll partner. So I just like to see Zay pass the ball and Zay make basketball decisions because he's usually just always trying to score. So I'm always interested when I see him with a teammate that he trusts, a teammate that he's willing to give the ball to. So on the other court, this Royal Blue team is very intriguing. This is Germ's team. He was the captain. He brought them all from New York. And they had like a fluctuating roster all 3 days. They had some constant players like the big man in the middle, JT. He was there all 3 days. You know, Chunky was there since the last day. His other left-handed bro was there since the last day. I think the dude number 13 was there the last day too, George. So they starting to build some continuity with their players, and just coming into this day 3 of the tournament, I felt like everybody was sizing them up. Like everybody that came into the gym was kind of looking like, yo, who are these guys? And then we watched them play. They was playing together. They was moving the ball. Seeing Chunky Vlog get so many assists. Chunky Vlog is a killer. You know? So seeing him pass the ball, nice pull-up 3 in transition by George. Seeing Chunky Vlog pass the ball so much was big time because it's like I couldn't really see the floor of this team just watching them play. It looked like all of their players were lanky and they put the ball on the floor. They were playing good defense. They were moving the ball. They had shooting everywhere. Again, just seeing Chunky pass the ball. So now this green team, they were previously the navy blue team. A bunch of them lost the jerseys, so I told them all to wear green. This was Monte's team. Monte's not here. He didn't show up for day 3. I'm not sure what that was about, but seeing Mike and Lid out there and just the rest of the green team still try to compete, I felt like they had a chance to win this game. You know, you see Joe right there. They picked up Dame for this day. I felt like they had the weapons and they were playing hard, but it's just a problem if you're in a tournament and you're playing against a team that played the last 3 days together or that's been playing together for a while. You can see the size of this blue team really disrupting the flow of offense for the green team and then creating transition buckets for themselves, just using their length and athleticism to protect the rim. But like I was saying about the green team is that they had a lot of talent, on paper, but they were changing up players every day. So now he coming into the tournament day where it's one and done, and they got to try to figure it out on the fly. Lid, super athleticism. He was able to get into the paint and attack in transition, but it's just like when you're dealing with guys that don't really know each other, they might not go back to you, or they might not be making the right reads, and just all sorts of different things happen. Whereas on the other end, the Royal Blue team, they didn't have this problem at all. If you watch all their highlights, they're sharing the ball. Well, that time the guy took coast to coast. He just had 2 tough reverse layups. And the green team showed some signs of hope. When guys are being unselfish, like that guy right there with the sweatpants. When guys being unselfish and moving the ball. It's just like simple. Basketball is like math, Basketball is like science. It's like dancing. It's just very rhythm induced. You could get into the flow of how to play. And sometimes, if you ain't got the right dance partners or you don't know your teammates, it's hard to do that. And watching the blue team, since the other day, day 2, I think day 1 they lost both their games, but day 2 they won all 3, and then just watching them play in this first game of the tournament on day 3, it was pretty clear early that they're a really good team, and they have the athleticism and the well-roundedness to just compete with any of the other teams in the tournament. This was funny right here. The guy, check this out. The guy inbounds to a teammate, and the teammate takes it up on the wrong basket. I haven't really seen that often, but it was funny because it was like such a good, well-timed cut. He really thought he was attacking the basket when it was just supposed to be an inbound play to bring it back, so they go to the appropriate side of the court. So anyway, I just felt like everybody that was watching the blue team, I know the black team had championship aspirations, and the purple team had championship aspirations, and the yellow team was a favorite. Everybody kind of thought that they were going to win the whole thing from how they were blowing everybody out on the first 2 days. But it just felt like everybody that was watching the blue team, when I looked around the gym, they were like, yo, who are these guys, man? These guys are talented. They're moving the ball. They're shooting. They're playing defense. They get into the cup, get into the free throw line. So, it's just something to pay attention to as the day goes on, because, they were kind of like a sleeper team. When Jerm pulled up in the gym, I feel like a lot of people didn't even know who Jerm was or didn't know what kind of team he was putting together. But now we at the tournament, and it was getting sticky out there. Now we going over to the main court. The yellow team, stars of the show. I mean, day 1 and 2, they stole the show. They was blowing everybody out. But this purple team was put together, with the intention of winning the championship. So, that was sweet, man. Pass, wing to wing pass. Ty with a good find to Judicus on the other side. Start the game out with a contested 3 all net. EJ come down. Camera missed it, but EJ just come down, shoot a 3 right back from just as deep. So like I was saying about this purple team, is that one thing about Bugs is whenever he joins these tournaments, he's coming into these tournaments thinking that he's going to win a championship. And speaking with Zay doesn't like to lose. Zay is like a real competitor. Oh, Bugs got on the floor trying to get the loose ball. Saeed with a nice 3. He caught it off the loose ball and shot a 3. I don't really think he shot that many 3s, but I feel like Saeed field goal percentage is through the roof. Hey, alley-oop, Zay to tie. But like I was saying about Zay is that if anybody knows Zay, like Zay don't like to lose. He takes it very personal. So anytime you see him in a tournament, just know that his team has a chance to win. With the yellow team, it's the same old story as the first 2 days. It's just they have so many playmakers on the floor, so many people that can pass, catch, shoot, take it to the cup. Nice tough take by Ty right there. So, even when you watch all of their highlights, it's like somebody different scoring on every play. It's multiple passes. On the perimeter, they can switch on almost everything. Switching on anything doesn't really help against Zay because he can score on anyone. But just the ability to do that and challenge the other team defensively, as well as put so much pressure on them offensively. But all these different guys that can catch and shoot, do one dribble pull-ups. I think I said it a lot in the first 2 videos, but it's just been a real pleasure for me to watch this yellow team. From seeing them get put together at the beginning steps and then just watching them in all these tough games with all these different playmakers and finishers and guys that could catch. and fade away and get tip-ins like the one Barry just got right there. Get out in transition. So this was actually a really good game. This is the second time that purple and yellow have met. Mikey Petaway, tough and one. Oh man, point at the camera and get this guy off of me. This is the second time that yellow and purple have met. They met on the first day. Hey, they met on the first day, and it was a real good game. It went down to overtime, sudden death. So everybody in the gym knew this was gonna be a game. I felt like the people in the crowd were coming over. Mikey Petaway is impossible to stay in front of. I feel like the people in the crowd were coming over to watch this game because everybody knew that this was like a championship level game. Obviously, it was in the semifinal round, so the winner didn't necessarily win the championship. Yo, Zay just pulled 2 back-to-back threes from 30-something feet. Came with a nice cross step back right there. Cameron had a hard time catching it. Mikey Petaway comes away with the steal, takes it coast to coast, gets to the free throw line. Zay doesn't like the call. But yeah, just when this game started, everybody knew it was gonna be a goodie. I don't think anybody knew which way it was gonna go. Purple was out to an early lead, but yellow with all these different options. Tone with the one dribble to the side, turn around 3. Cam pushing in a transition with the ball handling again all the way to the cup. It's just the yellow team had too many options, and I feel like the purple team also had a lot of options, but they seem to be getting their own buckets as opposed to creating buckets for each other. Whereas if you watch a lot of the yellow team, you got guys scoring with like 2 or 3 dribbles. It was like they were playing king of the court, like team king of the court out there, because most of their points came with 2 or 3 dribbles. That was a nice little one dribble pull up for the purple team, but I think that they would have needed more of that. The yellow team, whenever they used their ball handling, it was to get to the paint. EJ with a tough finish over Boogs right there. Zay, another 40-foot hoist. Oh, I think they needed. Yeah, at this point they were down. They needed every bucket they could get. They were down like 3 or 4. And they were trying to get every bucket while the yellow team's moving the ball around, wasting the clock. They ended up having to chase them down in a couple one-on-one situations before they actually shot the one-on-one, the 1-and-1. Zay comes down, shoots another tough contested 3, and this game's pretty much over. It was tough throughout. It was like a really closely contested game, but yellow was able to just run away with it at the end, and there were no late game heroics from Zay or Judaquist. They ended up shooting a whole lot of 3s. They made a lot. Those guys are really tough to guard, but it just felt like there was too many outside shots from the purple team while the yellow team was moving the ball. The semifinal matchup on court 1 did not disappoint. Purple versus yellow. It lived up to the hype. So now we on court 2 for the other semifinal matchup, black versus blue. Rodney always a catch and shoot threat. The black team, they played really well. They won their first matchup versus this blue team, lost the second matchup versus this blue team, and now here they are again for a single elimination game in the tournament. The black team is at their best when they're moving, when they get out in transition, when they force turnovers, when they're cutting, passing the ball. The blue team, because of their size and poise, and they got 2 big guards, Chunky and George, who can play the game at their own pace. They have no trouble scoring in the half court. So when the game slows down, they could always kind of rely on that. Whereas the black team kind of struggles a little bit in the half court. I think that they were having chemistry issues. I think that they didn't really know who they wanted to go to. Whereas on the blue team, as you can see, like, they move the ball a lot. But they mostly know like what they can and can't do, and they let their defense and their toughness basically dictate how the game is gonna go. So, just watching it early, I didn't really know which team was gonna win. When I see George take his sweet time to get to his spots and hit 2-foot, fadeaways over 2 people, it leads me to believe that the blue team is really good. You see, he has another double team fadeaway. George was really balling. This is actually my first time watching him play. I was really impressed with him. That dude Matt, he's tough too. I just was really impressed with the team that John put together. I wasn't sure. Oh wow, nice block off the backboard. I wasn't sure because the first day, all his players didn't show up. But once I seen his team kind of figure out, like, pan out to who was gonna be playing and stuff, like, I was really impressed with this blue team. The black team. Damn, George is really wilding out there. The black team, I feel like if it wasn't for the chemistry issues, they could have gone further. Javon with a nice catch and shoot 3 right there. Rodney, I love Rodney. Rodney can work with only 2 or 3 dribbles, and that's like one of my favorite things about him. See both teams going back to the huddle trying to figure it out. It's a tightly contested game. I felt like nice block right there by Javon. I felt like in transition they're so good, the black team, but in the half court there was like a reluctance to pass the ball. It almost felt like they didn't know who should be shooting. I kind of heard them arguing over people shooting too much. And I just feel like, by the third day, you should just want the guys that are scoring a lot to score a lot.
Oh my God.
This was tough right here because blue team is up in the winding moments of the game, and it kind of seemed like Ronnie was just trying to take matters into his own hands. He was going 1-on-4. He was dribbling all the way into the paint. And I don't really think that his teammates like that too much. You see Rodney tries to take matters into his own hand. Ooh, that was a big time 3 right there. Go down 1. Now they down 1 with the clock winding down. Turned out to be too little too late. The time winded down. They didn't have enough time. So black team is eliminated, man, even though we're a really good team.
That would have been crazy.
Y'all just want me to band. Y'all just want me to ride. The black team bet me that they was gonna beat us, and they ain't make it. So appreciate y'all. Yo, Ethan!
So this whole scenario is hilarious. Black and yellow bet on day 2 that like $1,000 that one team will win or the other team will win or something like that. Yellow team won on this side. Black team got eliminated on the other side. So now black team saying the bet is off. EJ saying, thanking the blue team, saying, hey, y'all just won me a band. I don't know what the situation was. I don't know who paid who. It had nothing to do with One Fam Nation, but it was just funny to watch. I didn't know if they were going to pay, if they was going to win or lose anyway. But, here we are at the championship game. Black isn't in it. It's yellow versus blue. 2 really solid teams. Yellow, I would say has the advantages in shooting, like all around shooting, ball handling. Chunky with a nice coast-to-coast pull-up 3. I really like JT's rim protection. That's like one of my favorite things about him. That he really challenges like every shot, and he creates a lot of opportunities for his team to get out in transition. George with a nice turnaround between the legs, step back 3. George, this is my first time watching George play, and I'm just really impressed. Like, for his size, he doesn't really wow you. That was a nice take right there. He doesn't really wow you with his athleticism or anything like that, but his size and length, for him to be able to put the ball on the floor and make decisions, shoot, I was just really impressed with George, number 13 on the blue team, when I was watching these games. JT with a nice strong sweep through for the layup. Barry, who's been running in there getting layups all throughout the tournament, you can see JT really challenging his layups, causing problems for him. Chunky with another catch and shoot 3. So just watching this game, it was kind of just a matter of like who's gonna make a big impact for their team. This was funny right here because Mikey Petaway catches the rebound. He's falling out of bounds. Calls timeout. The blue team doesn't agree with it. The referee's explaining to the other referee, look, he had 2 feet in and he called the timeout. Jerem is not buying it. He's not jacking it. He's like, that's not what happened. That's a bad call. He was out of bounds. But hey, that was the call. Mikey Petaway with the heads-up play. Grabbed the rebound, called the timeout. Yellow team trying to get it together. And sometimes when you got all these different players that can make things happen, EJ and Chunky arguing. When you got all these different players that can make things happen, sometimes it's an abundance. Too much is not a good thing. Nice. Oh, I see we got a goaltend right there. So you just got to try to figure out who's going to step up. That was a tough shot by Chunky right there. Who's going to step up and provide leadership? So, lucky thing for the yellow team, they had a bunch of guys who were just ready to play right now. And leadership was coming from everywhere. Another technical foul. There's a lot of technical fouls in this tournament. I appreciate that because in the 3-on-3, we had a situation where we were calling technical fouls. A fight almost broke out. But here in this 5-on-5, ooh, that was a nice shot right there. In this 5-on-5, I like how the refs kept control of the whole thing. And, you know, we were able to see some really good basketball. That was a nice block by Saeed off the backboard right there. Saeed pushing in transition. Oh, this was tough right here because somebody got a cramp on the other side. The ref blew the whistle even though it was a 4-on-5 for the yellow team. Yellow team was not happy about it. So speaking of guys looking for leadership, that's such a tough take by EJ. When you in these tough games and everybody's good and everybody could play, it's like it just figures itself out. George, nah, that was a hell of a shot by George. George is really hooping out there. Basically, it just figures itself out. Like the better players are gonna come alive. And the reason why I keep bringing that up is because speaking of better players, I gotta talk about this guy right here, EJ. I feel like every time these games got tough and they weren't gonna be able to win just by being more talented than the other team, EJ would put his head down and get all the way to the rim, or he would hit a big time three. You see the blue team, they trying to figure out, you know, what to do with these guys. It's a tightly contested game. The score is close. And they just trying to figure out how they could get some control over the situation. And on the other end, because they're so talented, the yellow team kind of just kept playing the same brand of basketball they were playing the whole time. And anytime they needed a big bucket, that was a nice take by Chunk right there. Anytime they needed a big bucket, they had more than enough players to make it happen. Especially EJ. Like, I felt like every time the game was close, he would put his head down and get to the rack, get free throws or get a tough layup, and just really put his imprint on this game. And if it's an ISO situation, you know, he's pretty much impossible to guard because he can change direction so fast. He's hitting pull-up jump shots. You know, you send help. He's doing acrobatic finishes. Getting back, playing defense. Look at this guy, man. What a guy. He's just being a great sport. He just laid these ninjas, got to the rack, hit free throws. He comes down. He gets a defensive stop. Kind of makes the guy cramp. He starts helping him stretch. I just feel like this video right here is symbolic to me because the way that EJ played in this tournament, the way he carried himself, you know, with his teammates and with the competitors and stuff, it's just a great representation of what One Fam is all about. So I'm just going to forever be grateful for him. Whoa, that was a tough three. Double team, contested step back three, fall on the floor by Chunky Vlog. But as you can see, EJ getting to the paint again. This was a tough call right here. He got to the paint. They slapped it out and tried to say it went off of him. He said, that's the worst call all day. He's looking at the camera. That's the worst call all day. He comes down, tries to get the steal. Oh, man, they call against him. But anyway, just speaking on my point is that I'm forever going to be grateful to EJ because he really came to the tournament and turned it up and just did a really good job. Oh, this was controversial right here. Y'all might have to run it back 10 seconds to see it yourselves. But basically, it's a tie ball game. Blue team was going to have a chance at the last shot. They called Chunky Vlog for the moving screen, illegal screen. When I ran it back, you guys could, you know, take the time yourself to run it back. When I ran it back, it didn't look like much of a moving screen, but you could see him extend the arm a little and try to grab the guy that was going by. I didn't think it was enough to call, but I'm not reffing. I'm just running the tournament. So, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. They saw him grab the arm. EJ splits the double, gets to the paint. Kid with the tip in. Ah! crowd goes crazy. Cam with the tip-in. 28-28. EJ gets all the way to the paint. Misses the layup. Cam comes flying in out of nowhere and tips it in as the buzzer expires for the championship. For the championship. That was crazy. Y'all might have to run it back. I would advise for you to run it back and watch it again. Look at Juju. Juju happy as can be. Coach of the year, GM of the year. He said with a camera at? Camera right here. Now cash out time. You know, first ever 5v5 tournament winners. Got to give the cash to the captain. Blue team disappointed. They still can't get over the the last call, the controversial call against Chunky, moving screen. I'm just happy, man. Mikey Pettaway, one of my first favorite superstars I ever met in Connecticut. Tone, Super Sniper, Cam, one of my first favorite superstar teammates I ever had. EJ, super talented. Saquon, I see him in the gym a lot. He could play. I was just super excited to have all these players in the tournament. You know, come around, present the championship trophy to Juju. Everybody's happy for Juju, coach of the year. You know, they celebrating, we getting ready for the pictures. They told me to get in there, but I had one more trophy to present. And it's only right. Tournament MVP got to go to EJ Day. He went crazy. He put the yellow team, you know, in a position to win every time it was tough. Everybody put the ones up for one fan. Get the pictures right. But yeah, man, it's only right. It had to go to EJ. It could have went to a bunch of different people because they had so much talent, but it had to go to EJ because every time they needed a big buck, he really came through for them. He got into the paint. And like I said, just the way he carried himself throughout the whole tournament is a great representation of what we're looking for. So, you know, it was good to give out the trophy. Give out the money. Everybody's happy.
I had to go get the MVP one time. I told him I was going to come out and grab it. Black team had to come argue with me, you know what I mean? I just do the proving, man. I don't really do the talking, man. Shout out one fan. EJ out, baby.
A word from EJ, man. Tournament MVP. Appreciate him so much. Juju got the trophy. Look, man, I just want to thank everybody that had something to do with this. We're not done yet. In fact, we only getting started. I'm going to keep everybody posted for the next event. I appreciate everybody that played, everybody that put it together, everybody that viewed it, everybody that showed any kind of interest in this thing, man. It started as just a dream. We put it together. Congratulations to Juju and the yellow team for taking home the championship. And, you know, better luck next time to every other competitor.